A lot of people are playing Elden Ring.
But I heard that, the fighting style is similar to the Souls games. And I'm not a fan of the Souls games. Trust me, I tried playing it. I am bad at those games. Like, I am horrible. Perfect. When I say I'm horrible, I played it for the first time. I died 50 times. I said no. Mind you, this is level 1. You just started the game.
I mean, the game is meant to be hard. Dark Souls was meant to be hard. I mean, it was memed for that reason of it being hard, right?
Perfect.
Yeah.
50 times. You just start. You die 50 times. At least 50 times I died. I dropped the controller. I said, nah, bro, I can't play this game.
I mean, I remember Adrian also, one of our friends who posted a video on YouTube of him playing Dark Souls, and yeah, he was like salty and tilting, and he said he was gonna make it a series. He said he was gonna make it like a YouTube series where he's going through Dark Souls, but then till today, there's only been that one video of Dark Souls.
Dude, you must understand. If you see the entire video, the amount of times this man dies to the final boss, he hasn't finished the game. To this day, Mans hasn't finished the game.
I mean, okay, but that's Dark Souls, right? This is Elden Ring. Yeah. I mean, they did say it's more like the critics and reviewers said it's friendly to the beginners. Like, it's not as hardcore. Like, it's like it kind of like takes the even if you're new to these games, it kind of like introduces you to that whole world, and it's beginner friendly basically. So that's why I've never played any Dark Souls game, so I'm excited. I want to play it. I want to play Elden Ring and just see what it's all about. And if I get tilted, then I get tilted. I mean, it's a challenge, right? We like challenges. I mean, we're gamers. We love challenges. So yeah. I mean, not dying 50 times type of challenges, but at least if there's a possibility for me to like move on to the next stage, then yeah,
definitely.
But yeah, that form was hitting, man. That form was hitting. I want to play it, but I think I'm gonna wait for a sale for a sale to hit, because right now it's how much is it going for?
Next year. You'll wait next year. I think it's around 1K, or is it 1.2? Is it 1K or 1.2?
1 point. Hectic. Oh,
is it a K or 1.2? I'm asking.
I think it's a K. It's a K. I'm also asking you, but I think it's around a K, right? Okay. But I want to wait for they'll probably make a Christmas sale, because Christmas is in June for the Americans or the people in the Northern Hemisphere, right? So usually during the Christmas, not Christmas. I mean the summer sale. Oh my God. I meant the summer sale. Like, the summer sale is gonna hit in June, so they'll probably have it on sale then.
It'll probably be like 20% off, because this is a game that's booming. I mean, if it was Cyberpunk, you understand. But this is a game that's booming, man. You'd probably get like 12% off. So do with that what you will.
Okay, we'll see. But at least if like 25% or higher, if they take off like 25%, maybe then I could consider. I'm not that desperate to playing it, but like, huh?
750.
Honestly, I think I just might. Yeah. No, I'll purchase it. I mean, it's for the experience, right? It's for the experience. I mean, who knows? I might really enjoy it. Anyways, let's jump into today's episode. Hey, what's up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the Ekasi Esports Podcast. I am your host, Perfect, and I'm with my main man, Mr. Judo. What's up, Judo?
What's up? I'm trying to do, the Dren thing. So.
What's up? Where he comes with the gang signs and everything. Yeah. What have you been, man? How's Porch? You just recently went down to Porch. How's it treating you?
Yeah. Recently moved to Porch, and this is one of the many reasons why we weren't able to release videos, on a consistent basis. But we are back. I had some internet problems and some power problems, but should be sorted out now, and we should be able to release on a regular basis. But otherwise, yeah, man, course is chowing, but still loving the place. Yeah, I'm still loving the place.
Are you really loving the place? Because I remember when we were trying to do the tests for the internet, it was ish. And he showed me the price of bread down there. The price of bread, like, I mean, you guys are paying $20 for a loaf brown. $20.
Wait,
20
perfect.
bucks, dog.
Wait, it's not here. It's not here. I just found that picture, man. I just
Oh,
found that
oh.
picture. Yeah. Someone
But weren't
posted
you
the picture, and I
complaining?
was like, wow. Yeah, bread is expensive here. Like a loaf of brown bread is 18 Rand 50 at a shop.
Same thing. 150 difference, dog. 1850. Nah, gee. Like I can get a loaf brown here for like 15 bucks.
Yeah, yeah.
15 bucks. Come on, bro. 1850. Nah, I wouldn't survive. So, but I mean, if you're enjoying it, I guess you're also enjoying the price as well. So that's you.
No. It's just that one shop, like literally that one shop. Everywhere else, it's like reasonable prices. Like 15 bucks for like white bread and 14 for brown. But this isn't about bread, man. This is about the Ekasi Esports Podcast, man. Let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. We're digressing. But yeah. This is the Ekasi Esports Podcast. This is where you guys get your weekly dose of tech, gaming, and esports news. And you'll just hear some some geeky stuff from two regular South African geeks. And
Yeah, man.
what we have in store for y'all is jam packed. In today's episode.
Yeah, definitely. But before we get into the episode, I just want to give out a disclaimer, as usual. But this is for like all the new viewers that we have. If you're already a consistent viewer, you already know what it is. You already know what it is. That, anyways, I digress. What we say, Perfect and I, does not reflect the views of the organization. So if we don't like pineapple on pizza, that does not mean that the organization doesn't like pineapple on pizza. You get those people, but yeah. We make sure we do our due diligence to give you you know
Factual
proper
stuff.
information.
Yeah, factual
Yeah,
information. Yeah,
yes,
so we
factual
don't.
information.
So we're not just like speaking from our butts. We
Yeah,
make sure
yeah,
we make sure to do our research and our due diligence. But yeah, with that out of the way, let's jump into the first topic. Well, it's the topic that we'll be covering today.
Mhm.
So Africa's first manufactured smartphone, the maraphone. Right, it's been in the news lately, and it's been in the news for not the best reasons. I expected. So okay, let me give you guys a bit of a background. So in 2019, right, a company called Mara launched Maraphone, which is a company that manufactures smartphones. Right, so they opened a facility here in South Africa and one in Rwanda where they'll be manufacturing smartphones, and basically they claim to be, or they are the first African manufactured smartphone. So they manufacture everything from the chips, and they assemble the whole phone here in Africa, and they sell them and distribute them here in Africa as well. So predominantly their market is the African market. So
Yeah.
and recently they were in the news for shutting down the South African facility, because things have not been going too well in the South African facility. And there's a couple of reasons why there's a couple of reasons why this happened. Well, mainly three reasons.
Yeah.
One, domestic uptake. Basically like sales, like like people are not buying the phone here locally. People are not buying the phone. That's one of the reasons. Second reason, the COVID-19 pandemic. It's, I mean, it's like the scapegoat for everything these days.
Yeah.
Why is it hot? Why is it hot? The pandemic. People are blaming the pandemic for everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, obviously, yeah, a lot of businesses suffer from the pandemic. So Marathon was also one of them. We'll also like go into that. And then the third reason was the non-materialization of government tenders. So basically, they were expecting some tenders from the South African government, and those that didn't work out. So yeah, one of the reasons why they are shutting down shop here in South Africa.
Welcome to South Africa.
It's rough. People don't keep their promises, and now we have to
Dude,
close shop. You know what I'm saying?
dude.
But let's jump into the first reason, right? Because I want to go through all these reasons and just like kind of like break them down, and we'll
Yeah.
also give our 2 cents on it, just to see whether this is BS or whether it's like actual like legit reasons, right? But the first
Yeah.
one, they said like the lack of domestic uptake, and when I was looking into this reason, right, I feel like the biggest reason why Marathon, didn't make sales, or there wasn't a big uptake locally. I feel like it's because there was no clear marketing strat. There was no
Yeah.
clear go-to market strategy from Mara to the consumer, because like since 2019 when this phone was announced, and this was like released, I don't remember seeing one billboard or one ad of maraphone. I
Not even a
knew
flyer, bro.
not even a fly, not even a
Not even a
flyer, dog.
flyer, dude.
Giving those guys on the streets who just like,
Yeah.
and those guys are like, they're committed. When you pass
Yeah,
by,
persistent, bro. Persistent.
they go around with you until
Yeah,
like you're like, bro, I'm good. But yeah, we didn't see any of that, and nothing on TV, nothing on the billboards. Is the only thing that I, the only way the only way I knew that marathon existed was because I'm a big follower of smartphone tech. So when I
yeah.
heard about an African manufactured smartphone, I was like, this is interesting, you know. And if Africa's gonna release a smartphone, they better do it right. And these guys, they didn't do it right. No, they didn't do it right.
The worst part is you didn't even hear from a South African, like from a South African. You actually heard from someone overseas about the phone that's being made here. Like,
Yeah, I heard from those guys
can
from
you,
Unbox Therapy, the guys who are in Canada.
like,
They
exactly, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I keep cutting you off. My bad. Carry on.
Oh no, you can go. But like I was saying, like it's yeah, like you said, it sucks that I heard it from those guys in Canada. And if it wasn't for them, I would have probably not have like done my research and be like, oh, these guys exist. So yeah, they had to do better. I mean, and another reason why people might say there was a lack of uptake is because they don't have a phone that competes with Samsung's flagships. And honestly, I don't think that's necessary, especially for the African market. Because not everyone in Africa is looking for a super high end phone. I feel like if you are able to show that your phone is reliable, if it works, and if it's affordable, then I feel like you have won a good majority, a good chunk of the smartphone market in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Africa. You know,
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that's also the same approach that Huawei sort of took. They didn't come and start branding out the highest end phone. Of course they did, but it's not like that would appeal to like the normal consumer. Right now they show off that Huawei Y9, was it Y30, Y whatever, and that's not like a high end phone. It's a reasonable price phone, and that's why people are buying it. That's why it's getting sales. Mara. Yeah.
but
But but Mara didn't do any of that, and it's like you said, they weren't targeting the high end. They were targeting like the average, consumer. And
they
oh
still failed. They still failed. Honestly, they still failed. Like, and you're right. That's actually a good point. Because remember when Huawei entered the market, in Africa or South Africa, like they started off as like one of those phones that you ridiculed. They were like in the same
yeah,
level as Alcatel, ZTE. These cheap phones. That like break in 2 minutes. But like when Huawei came in, they were targeting the average consumer in Africa.
yeah,
Well, I can say this because we're in South Africa, so I don't know how the
yeah.
strategy was overseas. But like here, they started like low, like very low end. And then after that, later on, they started focusing and they started introducing, the highly spec'd out, great build quality Huawei phones. Like Huawei went from a cheap brand to a brand that everyone like was like, whoa, okay, I actually want a Huawei.
Yep,
It became some people's dream phone. I remember when I was in high
yeah,
school, I wanted to get me a P10 because it looked
yeah,
cool and it was like
me too, dude.
it was clean. Like I remember
It,
one of
wa-
our friends got it,
it
right?
was different. Brian got it, dude. Yeah,
It
it
was
was
at
it was
that
a-
level, like
yeah, it
iPhone
was
level. Yeah, good.
Well, actually, yes, 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 yes. I say well now because I'm thinking about the iPhones now, and then I've completely forgot that iPhones back then were chunky.
Yeah,
But
the
I
chunky.
digress. I digress. One of our friends had the phone, and when I saw it for the first, excuse me, wow, when I saw it for the first time, don't laugh at me.
Bless you. Yeah, that's
That
manners,
wasn't
right?
a
Bless.
sneeze. That wasn't a sneeze.
What do you say when a person coughs? Then you just look
Don't
at
say
them,
anything. Just look at them.
let them die.
Yeah. But I digress. So we just saw one of our friends with the phone, and we're like, "Whoa, this is different," because generally speaking, besides the iPhone, you wouldn't find a fingerprint sensor on the front, like right under the actual screen and stuff like that. And the phone felt fast. It was smooth. It was fast. It was durable as well. Because that man dropped the phone a lot, a
Yeah, he had
lot.
a
But
reputation. He had a reputation for cracking his phones.
no, that was me.
Well, both of y'all. Like, I mean, actually, almost everyone in our friend circle had like this habit of dropping their phones.
yeah.
Like, and I feel like that dropped off for me too, because like my last one I had, it was destroyed, bro. It was destroyed. Like I couldn't see nothing. It was just like cracks everywhere, like cracks, and people used to look at me and be like, how do you use that phone? How do you work with that? But eventually you get used to it. So I guess I
Pretty much
understand
just
how you guys survived in high school with them crack
yeah,
phones.
but yeah.
But yeah, like
Sorry.
the Huawei phones were like at a great position, But
Yeah.
before the ban, I mean, they had taken over the smartphone market share. They were like the leading smartphone brand, for a good 2 minutes before the ban.
Yeah.
And then the ban happened, and then that like really cut off their kneecaps. Now they're just like crawling. They're barely surviving. But yeah, Mara came in the market. They didn't advertise, and like honestly, like you just have to utilize those traditional what's this, marketing mediums. Yeah, like TV, radio, billboards, especially in Africa, because not everyone is online all the time. You know what I'm saying? So, and even online, I didn't remember seeing anything digitally. Like I don't remember them collaborating with any influencers locally to, show off their phones or use them for something. Like I mean, there's so many avenues they could have taken, and it looks like they just ignored marketing. They were like, marketing? What? Now we don't care about marketing, And like I said, even the phones themselves are not really highly spec'd out. I mean, the other day I was comparing the A12, the Samsung A12, which is like a mid range, the lowest mid range from
Yeah.
Samsung last year, and I compared it to Mara's top end device, which is the Z1, right? The Z1 retails for about 3,800, and the A12, the Samsung A12 retails for about 3,000, right? So the A12 is 3,000, is 800 rand, it's 800 rands less, right? 800 rands less. But in terms of performance, right, the Samsung A12 slightly beats the performance of the Z1.
Slightly, and yeah, slightly beats the performance. But if you do look at the hardware specs and everything, you would see that Samsung would have that leg up and be like,
Yeah,
you
even
know,
the
yeah,
specs, even if you look at the specs and compare the specs themselves, you see that the Mara smartphone specs of the Z1, right, are less are inferior compared to the specs of the A12, which is like why? Because that just means that this phone is overpriced, basically. Because if it's gonna
dude,
cost 800 rands more, but have inferior hardware compared to a phone like the A12, which is 800 rands less, that just means your phone is overpriced. So already they're not affordable. They're not marketing their phones. So how do you expect to make sales? Honestly, how do you expect people to buy the phone locally? Look at
local is
Mobicel.
lacquer.
Look at Mobicel. Look at Mobicel. Mobicel is not like a super highly spec'd out phone, but they've been around for years now, and they've been making sales. I remember when the Mobicel came out in South Africa, I saw ads every second. Like, not every second, I'm exaggerating, obviously, for
Yeah.
dramatic effect. But I saw an ad like almost all the time. Like I couldn't go past a day without seeing a Mobicel ad. And
Yeah.
yesterday, I was actually in town yesterday, and I saw billboards and posters of Mobicel, like them still. And Mobicel is very aggressive when it comes to pushing their phones and devices, right? Even though they're
Yeah.
being ridiculed left, right, and center for being that phone, but they're still making sales though, because they've proven
Yeah.
that they are a phone to buy. And it's not like they advertise the specs or anything like that. They just say it works, it's reliable, and it's affordable. That's
Yeah.
what they say. That's the simply that's what you get from Mobicel. And
That's it. And that's what they do. That's what they get, and that's how they get sales. So you know, I
Mara
mean,
could have done
Mara
the
could
same
have.
thing.
I was about to say that.
We
Yeah,
just finish each other's sentences, We're soulmates.
sentences.
We're soulmates, bro. But yeah, so I guess yeah, I mean, on that reason of the lack of consumer uptake, that reason, I feel like it's mostly on them. That reason is
Yeah,
mostly on them because they didn't do much even to get sales locally.
but they
Honestly,
did not. But basically nothing. They basically did nothing. If you and I, who are into tech, heard nothing about them, they did nothing.
they
Really.
did nothing, dog. So, and the other reason, right, was the COVID-19 pandemic. I feel like COVID, right? Yeah, COVID was was kind of crap. It really put a lot
Yeah.
of companies through a lot of suffering. But I feel like those companies which are hit heavily and were forced to shut down. I feel like what the COVID did, it kind of like became a catalyst to a lot of companies' downfall. So if your company was already suffering and like you're already breathing through the wound, then it was just like COVID-19 just made it faster. It just like killed you faster, and then boom, you're dead. What I'm saying? Like Mara before the
Yeah.
pandemic, they weren't making any sales, so the COVID-19 didn't really help them out. You feel me?
Yeah. And after the factory shut down, and some of the workers were interviewed, they said they didn't even know the factory shut down in the first place.
It's
So
hectic. So you didn't tell the workers,
nope.
hey,
It's like gents just up and left, man. They're like, see ya.
yeah. What? So okay. So they had to, after like the shutdown. This is like after this final shutdown,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but like
So
during the COVID-19 pandemic, they had to like close their factory a couple of times. So that's why they said like that's one of the reasons why they couldn't survive because the factory kept on being closed down. But
Uh, but during when everything was kind of sort of going back to normal, one of the Mara representatives said that in a statement said that our factories are up and running. Even though he said that, like, while he was actively saying that factory was still closed, man.
so he was lying basically.
Yeah, he was lying. He was like straight up
Well, I
lying.
mean, what did you expect? Honestly, this is South Africa talk. But anyways,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, like I said, COVID-19 just helped accelerate their downfall. Honestly,
yeah.
because like they already, and it looks like they already had like bad habits. Right, if you can put it like that, they had already had bad habits. Because apparently, even the work conditions for some of the workers they weren't as great. Apparently, the food in the canteen was not even up to par. It was only vegan. And I'm like,
Man.
imagine, and you couldn't even come through the scuff teen. You couldn't come through the scuff
Oh,
teen.
can you
Have your
imagine?
lunch in there with some chicken with a drumstick there, because I'm not vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. I like some of my meat. Pause. I like my chicken. You feel me?
Actually
So
said pause.
I mean, I have to, bro. Like what I'm saying. Like
Okay,
people want to
okay,
clip me, and I don't want to get clipped and be caught liking. You feel me? So anyways, I like to bring my scuffed teen with my chicken, so I
yeah.
want to be able to do that. And apparently, as a worker in that South African facility, you couldn't bring your own food. And apparently, they were even made to stand, even if they weren't working, even though there was nothing to do,
Jeez, man.
they were made to stand for long periods. So the
Yeah, that
conditions
sounds
were
like
bad, bad.
sounds like Amazon conditions, man. And
Hectic. That's actually a
you know,
conversation
you
for
know.
that's a conversation for another
Yeah,
episode. But yeah,
yeah.
but no, it actually sounds worse. Honestly, it sounds even worse than that. I don't know. Maybe it's a trend. Maybe that's what makes these companies so successful, right? Torture your workers. I don't know, like maybe that's a secret sauce to success. Maybe
I
that's a
can't
secret sauce to
believe this man
success.
actually said that.
I'm not saying it is like that, but I mean, there has to be a trend. But obviously, maybe that's not it because it didn't work for Mara. So
Yeah, it
ish,
definitely isn't it?
they're not just sitting there being like, "Ish Mara, why?" You know what I'm saying? Mara, why didn't
Marajo.
work?
Marajo, why?
Yeah. And then let's go into the third reason, right? So they said the third reason why they had to shut down their facility in South Africa was because there was no the tenders that were promised to them uh didn't come through. So apparently the South African government gave these guys a marathon 100 million rand tax break, right? And they were okay. No, they were given that
Oh yeah,
tax break,
yeah,
right? The 100 million
yeah.
rand tax break. They were given that, and they were also promised a tender
Yeah,
from the government, right? So
yeah,
they till the year 2026. So they were going to be the distributor or the provider, the smartphone provider for the government, right?
yeah,
Or a smartphone provider to the government, right?
yeah.
So basically, if they were gonna be, giving basically the government
Government workers.
officials and the government workers those marathons, and that didn't happen. That didn't happen, and that's one of the biggest reasons why they had to shut down. And I'm like, to be honest, out of the other three, it seems like this was their biggest bet, right? It looks like
Yeah,
they were betting on getting this tender to help them survive. Like, I
gonna
mean,
keep them afloat. basically to keep them afloat. But working with the government is a bit of a like a gray area, man, because I know this is off topic, yeah, but there was a stadium. I think it was built last year or 2 years ago. In Eastern Cape,
Eastern
it
Cape
was
what?
10 million. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was. They were given 10 million rand, dude. Did you see that? Like, I can't.
It was just an open field with stairs, bro.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah. Already, South Africa is like it's tricky with South Africa and tenders because there's these things happening.
Yeah,
So if you're gonna bet on them keeping their promise or such, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So yeah, marathon. Yeah, like out of all the reasons they mentioned, like none of them really. It feels like firstly, why wouldn't you market your product? That's first, like,
yeah,
why wouldn't you? You have a product already. Why don't you market it? If you want people to buy it, market it, tell people about it. But you didn't do that, right? So COVID-19 hit you, and it hit you hard because you weren't making sales because you didn't tell people about it. And now you're waiting
yeah.
for the government to give you money, you know? But the government, in South Africa is hey, dog, billions and millions are missing. You know what I'm saying? So hey, I wouldn't trust them 100%. I'm not gonna like depend. I'm not gonna build a business and make it dependent on the government. To me
Yeah,
in South Africa it feels very risky. It feels very
yeah,
risky.
definitely
Especially with
risky.
all the corruption and stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like as a startup company, they're also like really, really, really messed up on the marketing side because no one knows you, no one knows anything about you, so no one's gonna go out of their way to be like, hey, let me get a Mara smartphone because firstly, I don't know what that is. You know, I could just be guessing this thing out of my head, but you know, honestly, as a startup company, what you want to do is get your product out there, marketing, as you said, and
Mm.
they didn't do that
Yeah.
clearly.
I feel like the first thing you have to do first get the product. Have something as a product. Like, okay, cool. Here's our
Yeah,
products. Cool. Then market it 100%. Doesn't even have to be like super high end, super quality. That you can work on as time goes on, right? But at least build
yeah,
a loyal consumer base. Because one thing I know about South Africans is that we're very brand loyal. I know people who bought Samsung from day one and are still buying Samsung today. My mom bought Nokia from day one, and my mom is still using a Nokia device today. It's not obviously the first device she bought, right? But it's a Nokia phone, right? It's one of the
yeah.
Nokia smartphones. I don't know what name it is because Nokia and their naming scheme now is just like
It's
all
all
over the
over the
place.
place.
But
Yeah,
Nokia, yeah, but like she's loyal to Nokia because Nokia has proven to be reliable, affordable, or value for money, and it has shown her that it works. You know what I'm saying? And Mara didn't do nothing. I actually remember seeing a Mara shop. I think I was at Maponya Mall. I think
yeah,
at
yeah,
Maponya
yeah,
Mall.
yeah, yeah. It's in Maponya more. Yeah,
Yeah, I saw a Mara shop there, but like I didn't. I was like, we got a Mara shop, but like there's no billboards. Like I mean, couldn't they work with the mall owners or the mall management and be like, yo, could they have a big banner in front of your mall being like, you can get a marathon here, with our
yeah,
official Mara store here, or have posters around, Maponya. So as you're coming into that area, you see marathon.
exactly.
Have ads on TV, have the people in the local radio stations talking about it. Yo,
Yeah, yeah,
marathon, bro, marathon, get yourself a
definitely, man.
marathon. Make a jingle, make a song. Marathon, get yourself a
that, that that
marathon.
that
Mara,
that's gonna
why
get
wouldn't you
annoying real
get
quick.
yourself a marathon? Mara, why wouldn't you get You know what I'm saying? I mean,
That's gonna get
hey,
annoying
hire me. I
real
can I
quick,
can write
man.
that song for you, Mara. I'll write that song for you, and then you'll try and open that factory of yours here in South Africa. But yeah, that's the Mara thing, bro. um,
Yes, jeez, man.
and it's really amateur, honestly, because Mara is not new to the African
Yeah.
markets. Mara has actually been here since 1996. So
Wow.
Mara is actually part of the Mara Corporation, which is headquartered in Dubai. Right, it's headquartered into Dubai, and they work in like 24 countries, and out of those 24, 22 are based in Africa. So they know the African markets. So Mara, why did they fail? you know,
That's such like honestly, a lot of African countries are corrupt, so and government officials won't, really provide. So why would they? Why would you rely on the government though? That's
I
like
feel
it's
like
still yeah, sorry.
Mhm. No, continue, I'll add on.
Like it's still hitting me in the like it's still sore, man. Why would you rely on a continent? I don't want to say that it bases itself off of this, but high key it does. Corruption, like a lot of government officials. I don't want to say this out blatantly, but give them that 200. They're going to cop 95% of that, man.
Hey dog. Me, I don't want to get all political in this space, but
Definitely.
but moral of the story is, when you're building a company, you don't want to just depend on the government. You want to be able you want to be able to build a quality product that you can sell. And also, don't sell with the banner of that it's proudly South African or the first African thing, like, because it's black made or whatever. Like I've seen brands like that which market themselves in that way, like first South African this or first black coming to do this, right? And honestly, I don't like that. I don't like that approach, because to me it just sounds like, okay, cool, you're the first African smartphone or first African smartphone, but okay, cool, that's nice and dandy, but what about the product? I feel like that should be like a tertiary option, like a tertiary feature. Like, your first thing should be like, oh, it's affordable, oh, it works, oh, it's reliable, and oh, by the way, we also base, we're the first African smartphone. Don't make that the headline. Like, it's cool, it's nice and dandy, right? It's a nice fact, but if that's the headline, then come on, bro. To me, it just says you're lazy. Like, you're lazy to build a quality product, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's Mara, and yeah, that's Mara, and they didn't succeed, and now that's closed down. People are losing jobs, and that's it for Mara. I don't know if they're gonna come back in South Africa, but
well, they're selling the factory, so
yeah, they're selling the factory. But but that's not the end of Mara, right? Because apparently the Rwandan facility is going well, and that's gonna continue, producing those maraphones. So yeah, I don't know. So we'll still see Mara in the market, but hopefully, they up their game when it comes to their marketing, so they can at least get some uptake locally. I don't know how they're doing things in Rwanda. I'd actually like to check it out. I'll actually like Google and see what's going on in Rwanda with Mara. But here in South Africa, nothing was happening.
Nothing's happening.
But yeah, I guess that concludes today's episode. We're gonna try this new style of the episode, where we just do like a topic per episode, so we don't bombard and we don't make the episodes super long. Because one of the biggest things that we heard from y'all is that you'd like the episodes to be a bit shorter. So I guess maybe we can make it like each episode dedicated to one topic,
Yeah.
And then see, so we can also like go like in depth, within that topic, so we don't have to feel like, oh, we still have other two topics that you have to cover, and and we end up burning ourselves out. So yeah. But if you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell to be notified when we drop another episode. And yeah,
and hit us down in the comments. Tell us what you like, tell us what you'd like us to add. Spice things up.
Yeah, let's some spice. Let's some spice. Like, engage with us. But why won't you engage with us? Like, why wouldn't you?
You just had.
I just had.
You just had.
One more time before we call it. But yeah. Anyways, shout out to y'all.
By the way,
made it this far.
This was episode 17.
17.
Yeah, it's episode 17.
I kind of lost count for a second there, but yeah, episode 17 of the Ekasi Esports Podcast, and it's been perfect.
And Jude,
and we'll see you guys in the next episode. So cheers.